Alright, look, I've been teasing a piece of content for about a while now. Anytime y'all see me say for context, anytime y'all see me say anything, I'm probably teasing something. And I've been teasing for context for a while. So welcome to the first episode of For Context. I'm JR Bang. Make sure y'all rate, like, subscribe to wherever you listen to our podcast at Some Dude with Mike B. What we're going to do is we're going after podcast. We're gonna take bits and pieces of it, and we're gonna give you context so you guys can really understand. Because we know sometimes we'll do something that'll go over your heads. And my man Ryan, he did something that I was like, okay, this is perfect for the first episode because my first guest, our first guest, is somebody that shit I've known for over 20 years now, because we went to high
Facts.
school together. Um, my man Taurence is on this first episode, and this was very special. See, Ryan put up a photo, and we talked about in the pod a couple of times that me and this man have argued since 1996. Um, we have argued who was the better point guard, Gary Payton or Anthony Penny Hardaway. This is not how we became cool. But this is how I knew we was gonna be cool because we used to have arguments about this joint literally every day, including the off season. And
Facts.
Ryan put up a photo of Sports Illustrated in the article that messed us all up. But first, introduce my man Torrance. What's good, fam?
What's good, fam?
Man, feeling good. Got my badass son running around here trying to grab stuff,
Oh
and
yeah, same
everything.
here. I got the kids over
Man,
here.
so we became like we went to high school. Shouts out to Prosser. Everybody from Prosser gonna see this and be like, "Oh shit, this dude." But let's go back to these lunchroom arguments we used to have, and we used to have them twice a day. We would have them in the morning, and then we would have them at lunch because we all had lunch together. So go back to those lunchtime arguments and some of your favorite joints.
Yeah. Now, with the Terrell Brandon thing, it was crazy because I know you're a huge GP fan, Gary Payton. You know what I'm saying? And we both know he a dog. You know what I mean? He was a dog on the court. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, uh, dishing the ball, distributing the ball. Sean Kemp. You know what I'm saying? He was a dog. But I always thought that Anthony Hardaway was, more talented. Plus, he had he was a bigger frame, 6'7", to shoot the rock. You know what I'm saying? Pass it, whatever. And he was defensively sound as well. So we definitely used to get into fiery debates over the subject. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
fiery ain't the word. I think that might have been that argument there. Probably was still probably not one of my favorite arguments because when we argued, we came with factual information that
Yeah,
either
for sure.
one of us had to be like, okay, so what? But still, but we didn't realize how many people were going to get in this debate. That's
True.
why I want to start.
True.
Before we get deep into that one, I want to go into one of, I believe, my favorite arguments of all time, which almost got us all in trouble, and we didn't realize it. And this just shows you how often we debated. Was when we had the debate about who was better, Bone or Wu Tang.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. That went around the school like wildfire. You know what I'm saying?
It went around the school so much that people thought that if you had one of them on your notebook, you were in a gang.
Yeah, it was showtime.
It's like, yo, what is this sign right here? Like, fam, that's the Wu Tang Clan, son. This is a gang. No, it's not a gang. It's a rap group. Like, here's the
Right,
CD right
right,
here. You get in trouble because you
right.
got a CD in school, fam. What you talking about? Is there any other debate or argument that you remember in high school that really just got your ass revved up?
Man, it was the debate with LeClarence, man. Rest in peace to LeClarence. Um, we used to debate about who was better, Mike or Scotty at the time. that's when people talking about Mike was always considered the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? I go back and be like, it was a lot of folks that was thinking that Scotty was better, which was, I mean, it was a crazy debate, but they used to say Scotty contributed more to the Bulls than Mike because he could do more on the court. They figured, but I'm like, no, that wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? Mike was just saving his legs to close out games offensively. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Scotty took a lot of the defensive assignments, but that was the free up Mike at the end of the game.
Who the hell argued that? Like, who? Wait a minute.
Man, Clarence, man, I can't remember who else specifically, but it was definitely. Man, what's Clarence's brother name? His big brother. He was like a
Ah,
year
I know you
older
talking
than him.
about. I can't remember his name,
Yeah,
but I know you talking about.
yeah, he was on it too.
Was it anybody in high school that you hated to argue with? Like, nah, I don't want to talk to dude because dude ass is gonna be stupid. I don't mind.
Um,
I don't mind because we still argue with him today,
yeah,
and
I was
and
about
we
to
be
say,
having no show.
yeah, I was about to say probably you. You know what I'm saying? Going
Well,
at it with
not
you.
well. I mean me, but
Yeah.
I hate arguing with Swag. I hate arguing with Marcus.
Oh, man, man, Mark is a fool with it, man.
Like I
he le-
I told I told Marcus one day we was all over over my homie crib, and I said, man, I've been arguing with you, and I told you too. I said, man, we've been arguing for 20 years. I still
yeah,
remember when he told us, because he's a year older than us, and I don't know if you remember this
yeah.
argument when DMX came out and he said the DMX was trash.
Oh no, see, I don't remember
See,
that. He
he
said
said,
that.
I never forget that. He said DMX was trash, and me and you was like, fam, what you talking about? Like this nigga
Yeah.
Cole, that nigga trash. Fuck are you talking about?
Oh, that.
And then he finally listened. He was like, oh no, y'all got me there. But all that other shit y'all niggas be talking about, man, that shit trash as hell. I looked at that nigga was like, man, take your ass out of here, man.
That's
I
crazy. You know, he'll stand on it.
yeah,
He
that's
won't budge off his position.
that's why boxing, hey man, you got it. Green Bay, hey man, you got it. He probably even
Yeah,
hear this and be like, man, I don't remember that shit. Y'all niggas lying, like, cause he will stand on it. Nah, I never forget that
yeah.
shit. All right, so let me tell you again why Gary Payton is better and was better
Okay.
than Penny Hardaway. All right.
All right.
So
All
Gary
right.
Payton was a big guard at the time before Penny got there. You know, Gary Payton was 6'4",
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
could
6'4".
score, but didn't have
Yeah.
to from time to time. But he'd still drop you 18, 19, 20 points a game.
True, true.
And he will still do that, but he will do that on the defensive end as well. Now,
Yeah.
we already know that Gary Payton is probably, other than Michael Jordan, and I'm talking about 90s basketball, I'm talking about 90 to 99,
Gotcha. Yeah.
is probably the best defensive guard other than Michael.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. He was a
So,
problem on the defensive side, man.
and will guard the best guard every night.
True.
I don't think that Penny Hardaway, because of Nick Anderson, really had to go hard defensively every
Right.
night on the court like Gary Payton did.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
So
Nick was his pit bull. You know what I'm saying?
that was the pit bull right there.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had to do that 82 games every year, defensively, offensively, best guard, best every night, and still had Sean Kemp. And when you look at that team, while they was good in hindsight, because this is an in hindsight argument now, we're
Yeah, yeah,
rehashing some shit.
definitely.
We're rehashing some shit we did from 1996 to 1998. Sean Kemp, Deadlift Shrimp was probably your top two scorers. Whereas Penny had Shaq, which combined is probably the two names as far as scoring goes when it comes
Right,
to on the court. He
right.
didn't have the bodies like everybody else. He had great coaching, Karl Malone.
Right.
He had a great power forward that you could throw the ball anywhere on the court. He's going to dunk somebody with.
He going to get it.
He's going to get it, and
Yeah.
didn't really develop a jump shot at that point.
See, and yeah, that was my thing with GP. You know what I'm saying? I was kind of iffy on his jumping. That was one of the I think that was a weak part of his game. If anything,
Right.
I would pick his jump shot was a little on the weak side.
Now, now, yes, he did get crossed over by Jason Williams. You
Man,
know,
White Chocolate gave it to him.
you you didn't let me live it down. If we had cell phones in high school, we would have.
Yeah,
You would have been like, "Hey, nigga, look at this every night." But that was the chance
yeah,
you was taking with Gary Payton. Gary Payton would take to make sure that he locked down the guard.
right.
Penny
No, I
Hardaway, the
agree with
floor is yours.
that. I think that, like you said, this is a hindsight argument. So looking back, I will agree that GP had the better career. You know what I'm saying? Because Penny started, dealing with injuries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
After Shaq left, playing more minutes and things like that. So I think that we got, I would say, robbed a little bit out of Penny's prime.
Yeah.
So looking back, you got it. You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, you got it. GP was the better guard. You know what I'm saying? But in real time, Penny was more talented. That's just the basis of it.
He
You know
was
what I'm
more
saying? Penny,
talented.
Penny
Yeah.
was more talented.
He was more
You know what I'm
talented.
saying?
Hard
Yeah,
work be talent, but talent don't work hard.
that's true. Yeah, that's true.
And I don't think Penny worked hard enough. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm just
That's
throwing
true.
it.
Yeah, in hindsight, you got it. You know what I'm saying? You got it.
Boy, when that man when Gary Payton won that ring, dead ass the first person I thought about was, man, I wish Radcliffe ass was around right now, G. 'Cause
Yeah,
shit. Penny
yeah.
ain't win shit. Penny at the career. And I still say Penny Hardaway would have had a longer career had he not played in that All-Star game.
Oh, what year was that? That was
I think it was 98 or 99
yeah,
where he was hurt,
yeah.
but he was
Right,
like, yo, I'm going to play in the All-Star game. And then he was like, yo, I'm out for the season.
right.
Like
Oh
he
yeah, yeah,
did.
yeah. I remember that. See,
Right.
it was like him, and then it was like when Grant Hill played on that injured ankle. You know what I'm saying? Those two. I was like, man, if they probably would have went back and just set it out, they probably would have been cool.
Now, let's go to this article. This Sports Illustrated article. Because I think it was Teron that brought that motherfucker. It was somebody that brought that motherfucker to the goddamn school.
Yeah,
And I'll never forget whoever it was throwing the magazine on the table and said, man, y'all niggas be arguing about goddamn Gary Payton and Penny Hardaway. Look at this shit. And they had Terrell Brandon again. It's Terrell Brandon, right? He's on the
yeah.
cover. And Sports Illustrated saying that maybe he is the best point guard in the NBA. They had them ugly ass blue and black jerseys. And did
Hideous.
hideous. And in the article, they broke down stat for stat the point guards in the NBA and how
Yeah.
I guess he was among the league leaders in all of those categories. So when you saw that, what was your first thinking of Terrell Brandon, best point guard in the NBA, 1997?
I fully disagree, and still to this day, like I went back and watched like some of those throwback Cavs games. I'm
Yeah.
like he was solid, but he wasn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't elite in my opinion. Like he was solid, very you know what I'm saying, serviceable guard. He did his job on the court, but he wasn't elite. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put him up there with you know what I'm saying, Gary Payton. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't put him up there with those kind of guys. You know what I'm saying? Tim Hardaway. None of those guys. I think he was maybe a level below those guys, but he was still. You know what I'm saying? He was solid, but he wasn't that what they was trying to make him.
Is it anybody we might have missed on in the I was saying that mid to late 90s time that probably should have gotten more conversation about how good they were.
Hmm. Man, that's
And I
shit.
ask that because we tend, when we have these debates, even now, we tend to miss on a person's greatness because we're worried about a LeBron James or a
Yeah.
KD. Like, is it anybody like who was that unsung nigga
Hmm.
at that time that you was like, yo, that nigga, we should talk about this nigga a little bit more.
That's a great question actually. That's a great question. Um. Hmm. I think what now? What's the time parameters again?
Let's do that
From
mid like when we was in high school. That when we was in high school time.
high
I'll say
school. Um. I think Damon Stoudamire gets swept under the rug. Like he was a little killer, man. The Mighty Mouse was a little killer. You know what I'm saying
even
for a
now.
few years. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. It's like he erased from history. You know, like I know he was a smaller guard, but Damon was a problem,
Yo,
and he
you
was
know what's
lefty
funny?
too, right? He was
I
lefty.
think so, and that's what's funny is I don't even think of Damon Stoudemire now.
See what I'm saying? It's like he got
Damn.
erased from history, and he was the ambassador for Toronto. You
Damn.
know what I'm saying? They
Look,
called a win over the '96 Bulls.
yeah, he crossed the shit out of Ron Harper.
Yeah, oh yeah,
He
made him
he,
stiff. Yeah,
he crossed the shit out of Ron Harper.
yeah,
Oh,
dropped him.
I ain't really. Yeah, we don't talk about Damon Stoudemire at all.
Man, undersized killer.
Even with Fred. Well, matter of fact, it was somebody in the group. I think it was my man Sammy that even mentioned Damon Stoudemire when Fred Van Fleet scored 54.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it was crazy. The name I was about to name is part of a reason I want to get your thoughts on this because it was a big ass argument in the group.
Yeah.
Was we don't talk about Deadlift Shrimp a lot,
Oh, that's true. He was a sharpshooter.
man.
You know what I'm saying?
And it really came about when the day before yesterday, somebody up in the group decided to argue that Dirk Nowitzki was more influential than Kobe Bean Bryant. Yeah, you
What?
need to, yeah, yes.
Hold on.
I'm glad that you didn't see that.
What?
So, in the Sun Dude Bar group, there was a gentleman, I can't remember his name, it's like Montevez or some shit. He's we it was a joint that our man DG posted up about the most influential most influential basketball players in the last 30 years. In
Okay.
the photo, it was Mike, it was LeBron, it was Kobe, and it was Stephen Curry.
Okay. Yeah,
And
I saw that post.
right,
I think I just scrolled past it
right,
though.
and I said that I would take out LeBron, not off the we talk because we're not talking about off the court. We're
Right.
not talking
Right.
about schools and social justice issues because to me, he stands in the class with only two other people in that, and that's Jim
Right.
Brown and Muhammad Ali.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
he stands in the class by himself. With that being said, I believe that AI is more influential than him. Basketball on the court, style, fashion, culture.
For sure. For sure.
And my man in the group said that he will remove Kobe and he will put Dirk Nowitzki as being more influential because he first said that he was the first stretch big.
The first stretch big, like in NBA history, like the first. Wait a minute, like he the first ever stretch big in NBA history.
Number
Oh
one.
man. Oh man, I'm gonna have to check that out.
now, I try not to debate with cats no more, especially if you don't have any facts to surround the argument.
Right.
But I was interested in this one
Yeah.
because I wanted to know his thought process. For somebody to say Dirk over Kobe in anything,
That's oof.
Just
Ooh,
even though Dallas went to the finals and beat LA on the way,
yeah,
that's the only time that I would expect to see Dirk over Kobe. Go ahead.
right,
But when me and my man Sean explained to him, hey, he's not even among the first stretch fours
right,
in NBA history. He
right.
decided to say, okay, well, while that's true, he's the most influential.
Oh no,
Your thought?
no, I would disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? He first of all, he definitely wasn't more influential than Bean. That's, I mean, we could just, you know what I'm saying, throw it out right now. But in terms of, you know what I'm saying, first stretch bigs, like you got a list before you get to Dirk in terms of the first. You know what I'm saying? You got, the old head Arvidas Sabonis. You got man, who else? You got you got DC. You got, matter of fact,
Derek Coleman.
uh yeah, Derek Coleman. You Devin Shrimp was like what, 6'9"? You know what I'm saying? 6'10", 6'9". So and he used to stretch the floor all the time. He was a sharpshooter. You know
Yes.
what I mean? He could play. He could play in the paint
From
too.
Germany as
But
well.
yeah,
It's like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, it was definitely forefathers before Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Before you get to Dirk. Now Dirk was a killer. You know what I'm saying? Had an unstoppable jump shot. You couldn't stop it. You know what I'm saying? He gonna shoot it to the rafters and he gonna drop you. But in terms of him being the first, nah, he wasn't the first, but he's, definitely probably one of the most effective
right.
stretch bigs that we've ever seen. I would say that, but I wouldn't say that he was the first. We can't say that. Like, that's just not a fact. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Before I let you get out of here, I want to take it to boxing real quick,
Oh yes, sir.
because I'm still pressuring you and Reed to do a boxing podcast. We need more boxing journalists, fam. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's
We
just,
um we we need better journalists than it's your boy with
hey
another
man, Mike
exclusive.
Mike love that guy, man.
He love that guy, fam. Like, it's your boy. It's your boy. Like, fam, nah, man. He's not about to tell me. He's not about to tell me why Deontay Wilder is right and how Tyson Fury is wrong and he's a cheater and all. Like, he's not gonna do that. He's not
Oh
gonna do
man,
that.
the egg weights. Man, I look at those videos and you have me in tears laughing. Like, y'all serious, man.
Like, I can't even get past it's your boy. But we'll start at the heavyweight division because it looks like we gonna get this fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury. Probably gonna get in the third quarter. That's what it looks like. Damn, I
Mhm.
wish it was Super Bowl. Damn, I wish they had like Radio Row because then I could be at the Super Bowl. Probably one of these motherfuckers pop up like
Right.
Wilder or the homie from Showtime did. Because low key, I'm the one who broke Thurman versus Pacquiao. Low key though,
Yeah. Oh no, I remember that.
right? Low key,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
but when you see them two going up head to head, how do you see the fight going and why?
In terms of Tyson and AJ,
Yep.
um, I think AJ gonna smoke.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? I think that AJ is adding more to his game. Like, we just saw him against Pulev. He did a pull counter. Like, this man 6'6", 250, 260. He did a Floyd move. People didn't really even see that. Like, he did it quick. I'm like, where did he get that pull counter from? You know what I'm saying? I think that AJ has too many gifts. You know what I'm saying? For Fury, he got power. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a few inches shorter than Fury, but we talking about an Olympic gold medalist. You know what I'm saying? This dude got every, you know what I'm saying, punch imaginable. He can throw a hook. You know what I'm saying? He got a decent jab whenever he want to use it. He got a nasty straight right. That's what he finished Pulev with. That's what he knocked out Alexander, the Russian. That's what he knocked him out
Potvin.
with. Yeah,
Povetkin.
yeah, Povetkin. Yep, knocked Povetkin out with. Um, of course, we know about that uppercut, and I think that he could definitely catch. You know what I'm saying, Fury with the uppercut. Now for Fury, I think, you know what I'm saying, we both know he can box, he can move. He'll
Right.
probably be effective for a little while until, you know what I'm saying, AJ get his timing down. You know what I'm saying? Fury can fight, but I don't think that he has Now, I mean, the heavyweights have power, but I don't think he has that kind of power to stop what AJ got coming to him. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
so
Like,
that killed my next question right there, because I mean we now know that AJ can be chinny.
true. Well, that's
So
true.
does Fury have enough power to keep him down?
That's the thing. I don't think that I don't think Fury can finish him. And we both know, you know what I'm saying. AJ can get knocked down and get right back up though
Right.
in the fight. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that. Yeah, I don't see Fury having that much power to keep AJ down.
All
You know what I'm
right, so
saying?
let's bring.
Even if he dropped him once or twice.
So does Wilder fit into these heavyweight plans? Like, do we are we looking at our version of look at you foul. Are we looking at our version are we looking at our version of Ali, Foreman, Frazier, when you got all of these cats fighting, even with Ken Norman and some of these other cats? Are we looking at our version of that? Because you even have other heavyweights as well.
Yeah,
That's coming up too.
yeah, they coming quick too.
Is
They
is
coming quick.
matter of fact, even better, is this our golden age of the heavyweight division?
I would say so. I would say it's getting back to prominence. You know what I'm saying? Um, I think Wilder can come back. I think he needs someone that can, you know what I'm saying, make him look good. He can come back and knock him out. But he got so many flaws that was never worked on. Mark Breland finally responded to, you know what I'm saying, to all the allegations today.
Oh, he
And he
did.
was just like, yeah, he did. He was like, Wilder never hit the heavy bag. Wilder never hit the speed bag. Now it's fine. It's all time
Wait a
great,
minute,
but never hit the,
whoa! Hey,
yeah.
you got to drop that in the group.
Okay, okay, I'll drop it. Yeah, hold on, man. Yeah,
He
he
ain't never.
never hit the heavy bag. That's what I was concerned about, the heavy bag, because speed bag is, you know what I'm saying. It's a lot. Some of the all time greats don't even use speed bag.
Right.
Errol Spence don't even use the speed bag. You know what I'm saying? But never heavy bag. He don't do road work. Like he don't. He, you know what I'm saying. He do a lot of swimming, but yeah, he don't do road work. So Mark Breeden laid it all out there.
Oh man, I gotta read this. Now, no, Usyk looks like he's gonna take his step aside, and while he's stepping aside, he's gonna go up against Joyce, which I think is a fight that should, if after the his last fight, this is probably a fight that should take place anyway.
Yeah.
Which I'm actually looking forward to. Is there any other
Mhm.
fight that you would like to see them put together that you might be looking forward to?
Um, in terms of heavyweight or just boxing period.
Heavyweight, because I'm gonna bring it back down to the lighter weights too.
Okay.
Because I got a
Okay. Yeah.
feeling one fight is going to eventually be made. Because I've been
Yeah.
seeing people talk about it way too much, and I want to get your thoughts. But heavyweight, right now.
Got you. Heavyweight. Man, I want to see. Uh, I definitely want to see Ruiz come back. He's in training camp now, so I want to see if they match him up with Wilder or if they match him up with, you know what I'm saying, Jogba. You know what I'm saying. We
Okay.
got to see these guys coming up. Um, Man, Michael Coffey decent. Did you see him last weekend?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
hey, he
Yes.
decent.
I I I give him a 3-year plan.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
A th-
I'm definitely watching him come up the ranks. Hey, he a problem.
I, I
You
I
know what
give
I'm
it 3 years,
saying?
and that's when people are really gonna pay attention.
Yeah.
It's too many right now, but in
Yeah.
3 years,
He's gonna be a problem. That guy. He's serious. Uh, I want to see what Michael Hunter do next. I want to see them kind of step him up a little bit. I know, top rank ESPN, they kind of like slow walk their guys at times, but
yeah.
I want to see Michael Hunter step it up a little more. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We got to see Dillian White versus Povetkin again.
Yeah. That man can't take. And man, my man can't take no punch like that no more.
No, sir.
He can't take no punch. I thought it was over for dude. All right,
Yeah.
let me throw this out there for you before I go to these lighter weights. I got a feeling that's that in the next year or two, Andre Ward is coming out of retirement. And if he do, he's going to go up against Canelo.
Who?
They've
Who?
I was watching Max on boxing.
Yeah.
Somebody asked the question. When it was answered, I'm like, they didn't have to answer that question. They
Yeah.
asked Andre Ward who would he rather fight? Would he rather fight AJ or would he rather fight Canelo? He answered it. Like it's too much. We know Canelo's fighting between 168 and 175. We know
Right.
who retired as the 175 king.
The king. Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
also know who ain't really have a big fight. If you want to count Kovalev as that, that's cool. I'm not mad
Right.
at it. But I think
Hmm.
Kovalev was reaching the end of his prime
Yeah.
in that fight. So in
Yeah.
my opinion, Ward ain't never have that big fight. And I think he's itching for that.
Yeah.
If that were to happen and Ward comes out of retirement and there's a pay-per-view fight with fans in the arena with him and Cinnamon, who wins that fight and how?
Woo-wee. First of all, like you said, if that happens, I'll buy it. I'm gonna buy it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna bootleg that
Um.
fight.
Oh no, no, sir. Um. Man, it's just now, and another. He's under Ward is underrated in
Very.
terms of just yeah. He's very underrated, man. He's gold medalist. Haven't lost a fight since he was like 15, 16.
Hall of
Um.
Famer.
Yeah. So, whew, but that inactivity, man. Canelo a problem, man. Like this dude is see, and a lot of fans try to downplay like his wins, but I mean he make guys look like this. They don't. Callum Smith didn't come to look like
Right.
that. Canelo made him look
Made him
like
look like
that.
that.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't like the inactivity. Now if Ward come back and he get what I'm saying two tune ups to get his rhythm back, I will probably maybe favor Ward 60-40. But if
Mm.
he coming straight back to fight Canelo, like no tune up, I gotta go with
Man,
Cinnamon, man.
I got a feeling that fight gonna happen. Cause when I watched Max on boxing and he answered that question, and he said
Yeah,
basically the same thing that you said, like it's the inactivity. I'm
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
I like Ward itching for that fight. He's itching for
Yeah.
that one pay per view. He's never had that big fight,
That's
and
true.
I think
Yeah,
that's why he's underrated. He was in the division where I think it was strong. It's just as you get bigger, especially at that time, it wasn't really nobody that you was really trying to pay to see, but they was
right.
nice. So let's go down to these lower weights. I want to go to the lightweights right now
Okay.
because that's I think that's the division in
Oh, for
boxing.
sure. Yes, sir.
Um, you,
Hot.
you you've hated Loma,
No, but
you
it's just that they overrated him. You
right,
know what I'm saying? That's what I was mad at. I always thought he was skillful. I thought he had all the tools, but it just rubbed me the wrong way when you had an active Andre Ward. How could you put Lomachenko? You know what I'm saying? They got 11 fights and one loss to Salido. How could you put him over Ward? That's crazy. You know what I'm
uh,
saying?
but you
It's
got
crazy.
you got Loma, you got Tank, you got Lopez, who's the unified champ.
Yeah.
You got Haney. You got Shakur Stevenson, which
Hmm.
I understand why he's left out,
Hmm.
but I still think he's a dog.
Oh, for
Um,
sure.
so I'm gonna throw out a different question that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
Would you like to see a Super Six like when we had with Ward, and a couple other folks? Would you like to
Hmm.
see a Super Six tournament with these guys to see who is, in fact, the best?
Oh, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? If they could put that together, I would definitely favor that. But you know what I'm saying? You got Devin Haney over there at the zone. You got Tank on the PBC Showtime. You got TO up on the ESPN. So you know what I'm saying, that'll be difficult to put together. But I would love to see them put a tournament together, even if the sanctioning bodies do it. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? I would love for them to do it that way. But it's a long shot. But I would love to see that.
And last thing I got for you is probably the argument that will never end until these two fight.
Yeah.
Bud, Errol Spence. And I'm gonna add some stuff to it.
Okay.
Because I know we always want to see this fight. Will it happen? Don't know.
Right.
And I already know where you stand at on that one. You you
Yeah.
you was you was Spence before, during, and after the accident.
Yep. Yep.
What I'm gonna ask you though is your opinion in what is missing in Bud Crawford's resume that keeps him down.
Um, I think that fight at welterweight, like I think you can look at his accomplishments at 140. They were solid. Like he beat Postal when Postal was, what I'm saying, a really a force at 140. Uh, he beat Gamboa even though I thought he was the much bigger guy.
Yeah.
That was pretty much a weight bully fight right there. But um, he got to fight a top 10 welterweight. Like I know they got to rank that number one pound for pound ESPN. I know that's their fighter. They got to put him up there,
Yeah.
but he has to fight a top 10 welterweight to show that he's that dog at 147. Errol knocking him off, man. He just came back and pretty much used Danny as a tune-up
He did.
after
And
a
that's
horrific crash.
and I was the one that was around here talking about, hey man, he just need a tune up. He need a can, man.
Yeah,
Just give him a can or two. And then you watch the fight with him and Danny Garcia, and it's like, damn, Danny Garcia was a can all along.
yeah.
My bad. My bad. Um. So, do you think he needs to fight Garcia? Well, not Garcia because Garcia just got treated as a can.
Yeah.
Thurman, because he cut his hair.
Yeah, he did. You saw?
Yeah, he's cut his hair, and
Yeah,
he looks like he feels like he's healthy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
and and I still feel that if he was as healthy as he could have been, he could have probably beat Manny.
yeah. Oh,
But
yeah.
Manny,
I
but
agree
but
with
he
that.
let him get to them later rounds, and it's like, okay, I don't know
Yeah,
because he gets better. But
yep.
do you think if he fights a Thurman or he fights a Porter,
Hmm.
and he does what he can do or should do, it puts pressure on Arrow to have to fight him now?
Oh, for sure, for sure. Uh, he definitely need one of those guys. He need either Thurman or Porter. And Sean is calling him out now. He telling his dad, "Go give me that fight."
With the
You know what
worst
I'm
shoes.
saying? Terrence is acting like Sean Porter invisible. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't keep, and that's his mandatory. You know what I'm saying? So Sean is just trying to make the fight before it go to first bid because I think the split will be like 70-30 or something like that.
Yep.
So it'll be low on his end. So he's trying to do that beforehand. But he definitely got to fight one of those PBC guys to make his stake at 147. We have to see Terrance Crawford against a top 10 welterweight, man. Like you can't keep beating up, what I'm saying, Kell Brook, that's, past his prime, two broken orbital sockets, you know what I'm saying? You can't beat up one-legged Benavidez, you know what I'm saying? You can't get dropped by Mean Machine, you know what I'm saying? He's got to fight one of those top 10 guys, and I think that Sean Porter would be a problem for him. You know what I mean? He's a handful to deal with. He's not gonna let you think in there. He coming
Right.
straight at you. You can't think. You know what I'm saying? You'll have to, set him up with a trap. That's what Crawford does. What he does is he'll put you in a trap and he'll execute it. But with Sean Porter, it's hard to even time him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's so busy and he comes with different angles and everything. So, but uh, TC definitely has to fight a top 10 welterweight. Period.
Well, we got some context
Yeah,
on Gary
yeah,
Payton versus Penny,
yeah.
boxing, Kobe, Dirk, and amongst other things. So that's it. That is all. That's the first episode for context. Taurence, it was good talking to you again.
Oh, same here, bro.
Go look at that doggone argument that we had about Dirk and Kobe, and you'll
Okay.
understand why I try not to debate with cats no more. Cause you're gonna see some of those joints, some of the names that you brought up were
Yeah.
names that we brought up that was before homie that he said that we was being disrespectful. It's Dirk. Because we brought up
Man.
Arvidas Sabonis.
Man. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't be the first. You know what I'm saying?
So,
But
so man, look, that's all the time we got, man. Y'all make sure y'all rate, like, subscribe, download to Some Dude Podcast for me and Mike B. Make sure y'all follow the Some Dude Pod group. Next episode, we gonna have Mike B bring on somebody else so they could get some context of what we were talking about, so the people can understand the arguments, you can understand the debates, so you can follow this shit better, man. I'ma holla at y'all. Y'all stay up. Peace.
peace.